Cambodian government to attract foreign
ទីក្រុង
investment
ប៉ោយ
and
ប៉ែត
development.
នេះគឺជាតំបន់សេដ្ឋកិច្ចពិសេស
As of July 2022,
នៅ
Poi
ទីក្រុងប៉ោយ
Pet's
ប៉ែត
SEZs host 15 firms from Japan, China, Thailand, and elsewhere.
មានក្រុមហ៊ុនជាច្រើនមកបដិទុននៅទីនេះ
Manufacturers
មានដូចជា
around
ជ
the
ប៉ុន
world
ចិន
Cambodia in
ដូច
their
ជាដើម
sights.
នេះគឺជាតំបន់សេដ្ឋកិច្ចពិសេសនៅទីក្រុងប៉ោយប៉ែត
Neighboring Thailand was quick to welcome foreign firms, but economic growth has driven up labor costs and dampened the country's business appeal. Meanwhile, with a GDP ranking of 108th in the world, Cambodia has plenty of young, cheap labor to offer. Border town Poi Phet is in the perfect position to provide a helping hand to Thailand's labor-intensive manufacturing industry. Labor costs only a third what it does in Thailand, and the government is providing a number of incentives to lure corporations.
法人税、関税、付加価値税等の優遇措置が受けられるということ、また事業を行う上で必要な行政の申請手続きと経済特区がノウハウを持っておりサポートを受けられること。
Over 10,000 locals work in Poi Phet's special economic zones. They say it's improved their lives.
10កម្មការនេះ 100000 នាក់ធ្វើការនៅតំបន់សេដ្ឋកិច្ចពិសេសនៅប៉ោយប៉ែត
គឺមូលហេតុដែលខ្ញុំចង់ធ្វើការនៅទីនេះតែម្ដងហ្នឹងគឺដោយសារថាខ្ញុំមិនចង់ចំណាកស្រុកនៅថៃបងព្រោះថាកាលខ្ញុំចំណាកស្រុកទៅថៃហ្នឹងគឺវាយើងឃ្លាតឆ្ងាយពីគ្រួសារទៅពេលអញ្ចឹងយើងធ្វើការក៏វាមិនបានពេញខែពេញឆ្នាំទេបងហើយយើងទីមួយដល់ពេលយើងធ្វើនៅនេះវាចិត្តជុំបងជុំប្អូនជុំគ្រួសារយើងផងដែរបងបាទ
A new market has emerged next door to one of the SEZs. It's always crowded with factory workers. However, the zones have brought about new wealth gaps between locals. Not all of the residents are reaping the economic benefits. Some live on landfill sites, making a living by gathering empty cans and plastic bottles.
អត់ខ្ញុំវាដូចថាខ្ញុំអត់ចេះអក្សរចឹងគេអត់សូវយកហើយណាមួយគេឃើញយើងចំណាស់ផងអត់ចេះអក្សរគេមិនយកទេទៅខ្មែរក៏មិនចេះស្អីក៏មិនចេះគេមិនយកយើង
Can Poi Phet's special economic zones help it become Southeast Asia's next growth hub? The town of Poi Phet is in regional Cambodia. Halfway between Phnom Penh and Bangkok, it has long served as a transport hub. A border checkpoint. Due to the pandemic, the borders were closed to all but a handful of cargo until May 2022. Now, double-vaccinated residents can pass through freely, and the town is beginning to flourish once more. Poi Phet's newest SEZ opened in 2020, operated by a Cambodian conglomerate. At 70 hectares, it could house nearly 100 soccer fields. But due to the pandemic, there is only one company currently in residence here. It's a Japanese electronics manufacturing provider. The firm's main factory has been in Thailand since 1995, but it moved the manufacturing of its home appliance electronic circuitry to Cambodia as a way to reduce costs. 100% of its products are shipped to Thailand.
ផលិតហើយយកទៅប្រទេសថៃទៅលក់នៅប្រទេសថៃ 100% តែម្ដងហើយរោងចក្រនេះគឺធ្លាប់ផលិតនៅថៃតាំងពីឆ្នាំ 1995 ហើយក៏បានបដូរទីតាំងធ្វើការដំឡើងនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាទីក្រុងប៉ោយប៉ែតនឹងវិញដោយសារកម្លាំងពលកម្មថោកជាងនៅប្រទេសថៃ
企業で細かい作業が得意なところ真面目な人が多く遅刻する人がほとんどいないことには感心しています
គឺធ្វើការនៅនេះមានម៉ាស៊ីនត្រជាក់អីត្រឹមត្រូវបងវាអត់ដូចធ្វើការនៅកន្លែងផ្សេងភាគច្រើននឹងគេថាក្តៅអីចឹងតែមកធ្វើការនៅនេះគឺមានផាសុកភាពហើយមានម៉ោងធ្វើការអីត្រឹមត្រូវហើយមានថ្ងៃឈប់សម្រាកអីត្រឹមត្រូវចា៎
រោងចក្រអេឡិចត្រូ
The
និក
factory currently employs around
ចក្រ
140
ផលិត
people.
ជីប
Over 70% are in
ផ្ទះ
their
គ្រឿង
20s.
អេឡិចត្រូនិក
Sung is 23. Her family is poor, and she had to find work in Thailand straight out of junior high.
វងឡាយកាលទៅថៃដំបងនៅ
ធ្លាប់ធ្វើការនៅប្រទេសថៃនេះគាត់អាយុ23ឆ្នាំ
នៅផ្ទះនៅពុកម៉ែនៅសលេងមុនសលេងទីអីចឹងណាដល់ពេលចឹងទៅយើងនៅតែឯងណាមួយស្រីផងមានការងារធ្វើនៅនេះបើទោះបីជាមានឧបសគ្គតិចតួចមែនប៉ុន្តែយើងពេលយើងទៅផ្ទះចឹងទៅមានអារម្មណ៍ថាធូរស្បើយព្រោះយើងនៅចិត្តគ្រួសារអីចឹងណា
3 years later, Song returned to Cambodia and had a stroke of luck. She applied and passed the entrance exam for her current firm, which had just moved to Poi Phet. Now in her 5th year, she leads a group of 25 people. p.m. Song finishes work and heads straight home. She commutes by moped. There are also buses, but she only uses those when the weather is particularly bad. It's a 20-kilometer trip home.
ចម្ងាយពីផ្ទះមកកន្លែងធ្វើការហ្នឹង20 គីឡូម៉ែត្រ
Song lives in a farming village of about 800 people.
ហើយភូមិនៅគាត់រស់នៅហ្នឹងមានចំនួនប្រជាជនប្រមាណ800នាក់
The journey home takes her 30 minutes.
ការធ្វើដំណើរពីកន្លែងការងារមកដល់ផ្ទះគាត់ហ្នឹងគឺ30នាទី
She lives in a family of 7. Her parents, sister and brother
មាន
and
គ្រួ
their 2
សារចំនួន7នាក់រួមទាំងឪពុកម្ដាយផង
The family's main occupation is growing rice, but it's not enough to make ends meet. Song's salary is a huge help to the household budget.
គ្រួសារគាត់ហ្នឹងគឺកិច្ចការងារជាសំខាន់ហ្នឹងគឺធ្វើស្រែចម្ការប៉ុន្តែការធ្វើការងារនៅតាមរោងចក្រហ្នឹងគឺជាចំណូលដ៏សំខាន់សម្រាប់គ្រួសារគាត់
កូននៅជួបនេះសប្បាយចិត្ត
អត់សមមានអារម្មណ៍ទៅឆ្ងាយណា
ព្រួយដល់ទៅគេ
After dinner, Song heads into the yard. She attends to the animals every day, hoping to lighten her parents' burden any way she can. Exxon's factory, the staff all clean their own areas before starting work. Any dust or foreign particles in the circuitry will affect its quality. Ensuring staff understand the importance of neatness and cleanliness helps the company prevent potential losses.
មុននឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមធ្វើការងារជាធម្មតាគឺត្រូវការបោសសម្អាតអនាម័យសិន
職場の一体感が高まるということを期待してやっています。
ការបោសសម្អាតហ្នឹងគាត់មានគំនិតគិតថាគឺជាការសាមគ្គីគ្នាមួយ
During working hours. In the past, there have been cases where corporations investing in developing nations
ហើយក៏មានកម្មវិធីអប់រំបណ្ដុះបណ្ដាល
exposing them to power and
ជា
social
ការស្វែងយល់ដឹងរបស់ឲ្យកម្មករផងដែរណា
As global awareness of human rights has improved, consumers expect companies to comply with these standards.
ឲ្យយើងចេះប្រយ័ត្នខ្លួននិងចេះប្រយ័ត្នប្រាប់ដល់ជនដែលចង់បៀតបៀនយើងឲ្យដឹងខ្លួនថាជាអំពើធ្វើមកជាអំពើអត់ល្អនិងជាគំរូមួយដែលឲ្យយើងកែខ្លួនឲ្យធ្វើខ្លួនសាជាថ្មីល្អ
The local staff are treated as partners. The firms in the SEZ know that they will not succeed unless they can build an environment where each individual worker can realize their full potential. Many of the companies in Phoi Pet's SEZs were attracted by the town's excellent location. It's at the heart of the peninsula's southern economic corridor, a massive artery that fully opened in 2015. It's just 3.5 hours drive to Bangkok and 2.5 hours to the international port of Lam Chabang. Hopes are high for the region becoming a logistics base for Southeast Asia. The Cambodian government has established 3 special economic zones in Phoi Phet, putting its geographical convenience front and center. Uematsu Hiroshi leads the company developing Phoi Pet's newest SEZ. A new firm has decided to join the zone. Uematsu has headed out to inspect the construction site.
車のディーラーなんですけどね、タイから完成車を輸入して、でここで一旦保管して、でカンボジア国内に、販売するということで、で今その、車のその保管庫とオフィスですね、こちらを整備。
Uematsu is an expert in the field of special economic zones. He was behind the SEZ in Phnom Penh, Cambodia's capital, which opened in 2006. This was an enormous project involving over 100 firms and 35,000 workers. Uematsu had previously worked at a major Japanese general contractor, overseeing global projects such as the construction of factories in the Philippines. He had gained considerable experience working abroad.
40歳を境にもう一度東南アジアでチャレンジしたいという気持ちが強くなって、でそれでいろいろと、仕事を探してたところ、そのカンボジアで、新たにその経済特区を開発するというプロジェクトがありまして、でそこに応募したところ、当時そういう仕事を取 通してカンボジアに来たいっていう人は、あまりいなかったもんですから、すぐ採用となりまして。
The 1990s saw the end of over 2 decades of civil war in Cambodia. The government had begun developing economic zones to help industrialize the country. A joint venture between a Cambodian and a Japanese real estate developer selected Uematsu as the leader of their new project, and he was involved in every aspect from site development to attracting tenants. His main focus was putting a stop to systemic corruption and bribery.
世界的な、その企業を誘致しようと思ったら、まずはその不正に対して、不正汚職に対しては厳しく対処しないといけません。プノンペン経済特区、そこはその、一切、公正な公明正大な、手続きをやってるなという透明性の高いサービスを、提供するということで。
Uematsu asked the government for help attracting firms to Phnom Penh. Corporate taxes were lowered, and the complex bureaucracy around imports and exports was simplified. Infrastructure was another major issue. The zone needed electricity. At the time, Cambodia's infrastructure was lacking, with only around 30% of households connected to the grid. Uematsu worked with the power authority and private energy firms to build a small power plant exclusively for the zone, providing it with a stable supply of electricity. Since becoming CEO of Poipet SEZ in 2017, Uematsu is leveraging his experience in Phnom Penh to its full extent.
ポイペトで経済特区始めるにあたって、調査いろいろしたところ、やはり、水もですね、自前で確保した方がいいんだろうという結論に達して、でそれでこのような浄水施設を作りました。国際的な企業に来ていただくためには環境面の配慮もしっかりしなきゃいけないので、浄水施設とあとはその下水処理施設ですね。
Uematsu plans to boost investment from the West and attract value-added manufacturing to Cambodia. The local government also has high hopes for the 3 SEZs.
កាលណាគាត់ដឹកជញ្ជូនពេលខ្លីសហគមន៍គាត់ក៏អត់តិចហើយកម្លាំងពលកម្មក៏បានកម្រៃច្រើនដែលជាវិនិយោគិននឹងអាចឲ្យតម្លៃទៅប្រជាពលរដ្ឋយើងមានតម្លៃខ្ពស់នៅក្នុងការធ្វើការងារក្នុងរោងចក្រ